Tonight, a family divided by love and death.
All we want to know is the truth.
Their relentless pursuit uncovers a secret that changes everything.
It's huge.
An all-new Dateline tonight, 9/8 Central.
Tonight, forget about athletic domination. It's about higher education.
Talk about perfection. Not one miss in that round. I applied to both these schools. I never heard back.
Capital One College Bowl tonight on NBC.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back, invest in our own workers, and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Howard Young Urgent Care. Get in, get out, get well.
Straight ahead on Newswatch 12 at 6, it's Friday night, which means high school football across the Northwoods. We'll have a look at this week's football matchups. Plus, there's no shortage of volunteers when it comes to a golf tournament. We'll have the latest on what you can expect for the Stevens Point event. And we'll have more on how one company has found a way to detect Alzheimer's. We'll have those details as your local news starts right now.
Your local news and weather from where you live. Newswatch 12 at 6 starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch 12 at 6. I'm Jessica Jukic. We're live from the Hodag Dome tonight as our studio is undergoing some renovations. The Newswatch 12 studios under construction through the weekend. It's getting a major renovation, so things will look a lot different. We'll be unveiling the new look starting Monday. It's Friday, so you know what that means. High school football is going on across the area. Saul Myers and Mosinee right now for the game of the week. Saul.
That's right, Jessica. I'm here at Veterans Park football field for the game of the week between Mosinee and Medford. And this game is a very important one, to say the least. Both teams are undefeated in conference play, so the winner of this game will ultimately decide the Great Northern Conference champion. This is Kyle Stoffel's first year as head coach for Mosinee, and I talked to him all the way back in week 1, where he said his team's goal was to be GNC champs. Well, fast forward to week 8, and he has the opportunity to achieve a major goal like that in just his first year. I asked him if he thought that goal was really achievable or not, and what it means that he's in the position this early in this career.
Like I said, I was pretty confident we could be there. I'm very happy. We had a little bit of a slow start to the season, but we've turned things around. We made some adjustments, and we're playing real well, and I'm pretty confident going into Friday.
Even after their shaky start to the season, Mosinee's goals haven't changed, and they're ready for tonight.
Obviously, our goal is always to win games. So that's really the goal, win games, win a conference championship. This week's a big one for that conference championship goal, and go as far as we can in the playoffs.
We'll see how far this team can go in the playoffs in just a few weeks. Reporting live here in Mosinee, I'm Saul Meyer, Newswatch 12.
Temperatures are dipping in the area. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller joins us. Jeff, how long will this last?
You know, a cool start to our day today, right? Temperatures down in the 30s and some light snow this morning. Tonight, though, it's going to be even colder. Game time temperatures in the 30s, dropping into the low 20s for lows tonight. Looking outside now, though, temperatures are hanging out in the upper 30s to low 40s. But again, this is just getting started. There's lots of cloud cover across our region right now. That is going to fade away later on tonight. That's going to be a problem because that radiation cooling and clear skies will give us really cold temperatures for us tonight, basically down in the low to mid-20s. All right, here's that cloud cover now across pretty much all of north central Wisconsin. But again, the back edge to this is right across parts of eastern Minnesota. That will work its way across north central Wisconsin tonight, and that means a very cold morning for us tomorrow morning with low temperatures in the 20s. Our forecast then tonight, though, is decreasing clouds, game time temperatures in the 30s, falling into the 20s with decreasing clouds overnight. Your full forecast is coming up. Jessica?
Thank you, Jeff. A federal judge dismissed a lawsuit yesterday which sought to block President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program. The Brown County Taxpayers Association argued Biden's plan evades the power Congress that has over spending. The group also said that the plan is discriminatory and favors borrowers of color. A U.S. district judge dismissed the case, stating the group didn't have the standing to bring the lawsuit. Similar lawsuits have been filed across the U.S. following the president's announcement of the plan in August. 3 men were rescued yesterday after their boat capsized on Lake Winnebago. The Calumet County Sheriff's Office received a call yesterday afternoon from a man who said the waves flipped over his catamaran. The Sheriff's Office used their boat, located roughly 2 miles away, to reach the scene. They found the boat's owner and the other man holding onto a portion of the capsized vessel. No injuries were reported. The St. Croix County Sheriff's Office is continuing an investigation into a hit and run from March. Authorities responded to a call in the early hours of March 6 near the Wisconsin-Michigan border. They found 27-year-old Joshua Thiesing lying in the southbound lane of Highway 35 with severe injuries. Life-saving measures were performed and Thiesing was transported to the hospital in St. Paul. The Sheriff's Office says the investigation is ongoing and the public help is requested. Anyone with any information is asked to contact the Sheriff's Office at 715-381-4139. The President Biden is offering a stark warning over Russia President Vladimir Putin's repeated nuclear threat. At a fundraising event, he said any nuclear move by Russia could lead to, quote, Armageddon. This is happening as Russia continues to face military setbacks in Ukraine. Mike Valerio has the latest.
It was a chilling warning on the increasingly disturbing nuclear threats from Russian President Vladimir Putin. President Biden telling Democratic donors in New York on Thursday, quote, "We have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis. I don't think there is any such thing to use a tactical nuclear weapon and not end up with Armageddon." The warning comes as Russia contends with a string of defeats in Ukraine and a loss of Ukrainian territory the Russian Federation seeks to illegally annex.
Putin has failed in every strategic, operational, and tactical objective he has set for himself over the last 7 months.
While U.S. officials said Biden's candor reflects a mood of concern within the White House, they add the president's message is not based on any new intelligence about Putin's intentions or changes in Russia's nuclear posture.
At this stage, we do not have any information that would cause us to change our strategic deterrence posture, and we don't assess that President Putin has made a decision to use nuclear weapons at this time.
Yet retired Brigadier General Peter Zlak says Biden's remarks serve as, quote, a wake-up call.
As far as nukes in tactical use, I believe that you use one, you've opened up Pandora's box. We don't know where we will go from there.
I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
The Uvalde, Texas School District has suspended its entire school police force today amid fallout from the response to the Robb Elementary School shooting on May 24th. In a statement, the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District said, quote, recent developments have uncovered additional concerns with department operations. The statement said it suspended all activities of Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District Police Department for a, quote, period of time. The district also placed the Director of Student Services on administrative leave. The school district's police department has been under investigation for its response to the shooting in May, particularly delays by officers in reaching the gunman when he was holed up in a classroom. Stevens Point is preparing for a major golf tournament. The U.S. Senior Open Championships are coming to Century World next summer. While the course has required a lot of preparation inside the ropes, there's an abundance of work going on outside to ensure that the best customer experience possible. Fans from across the country are expected to turn out, but the organizers are expecting the home stakes' own turnout to be high as well.
A lot of these folks have never been able to experience golfers of this caliber here unless they go to, AmFam or something along those lines. So we're thrilled to bring it here to Century World and to Stevens Point.
Locals who have signed up for the volunteer have blown USGA requirements out of the water, with more than 2,300 registered volunteers and a long wait list already.
Truthfully, it takes a village. It's a collective effort. It's organized chaos, but it's a certainly a work hard, play hard atmosphere, and we love to work with each other.
The tournament will run various stands of food, including all of Wisconsin classics like cheese curds, brats, and beer, to showcase the home state. Ticket sales are already open on Century World's website. You can visit that for more information. Concussion protocols are a common discussion in recent years. Coming up after the break, we'll explain how to stay safe in contact sports. That's after Weather with Jeff right here on Newswatch 12.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Northwoods Furniture, Eagle River.
No one goes all in on made-from-scratch freshness like Papa Murphy's. Because when you go all in, people notice. Go all in with the Triple Pet Pizza for just $11.99. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
When it happened, he was the boss.
These allegations span over 2 decades.
Women at Tim Michael's company say they were pressured to have sex with their supervisors.
If she refused demands for sex, she would be blackballed from working on a pipeline.
And sexually harassed.
The female worker was given a sex toy and pornographic images for her birthday.
If this is how Tim Michaels runs his business, how do you think he'd run the state? Tim Michaels' agenda is radically wrong.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale and get the best for free. Through Saturday, get free installation on our best-selling carpet, free estimates, and interest-free financing. That's right. Free carpet installation, free estimates, and interest-free financing. Only at Carpet City Flooring Center. Come see why contractors and designers choose Carpet City Flooring Center for their flooring needs. And get the best for free.
Carpet City, our prices will floor you.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back, invest in our own workers, and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
See the exceptional selection of jewelry at Golden Carat Jewelers. Artistic handmade jewelry by Michu and Bella Trois. Fashion-forward designs by Mira T. and Frederick Sage. The latest trends and the forever classics from Facet Barcelona, Catan, and more. Your full-service jewelry store in downtown Minocqua, Golden Carat Jewelers has a surprise for everyone.
No one goes all in on made-from-scratch freshness like Papa Murphy's. Because when you go all in, people notice. Go all in with the Triple Pet Pizza for just $11.99. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
Some snow flurries this morning. This squirrel has the right idea. He's hiding his nuts because he knows what's on the way, even cooler temperatures tonight, and then probably some more snow flurries in the forecast for us next week. But out there today, we had lots of cool temperatures, right? Highs only in the low 40s. That's not normal. The average high upper 50s. Nobody did that today. In fact, lots of fall-like temperatures across our region today and through the weekend. However, it is going to start getting warmer as we're talking about temperatures back in the 50s this weekend, not the 40s like they were today. Right now, it's 40 in Eagle River, 41 for Antigo, 41 also for Rhinelander. So it's chilly. If you're going to the football games tonight, we'll have game time temperatures in the 30s, falling into the 20s after midnight tonight. That's going to make for some cold bleachers this evening if you're sitting out there. Okay, the average high is 59, the average low being 37. The record low, here's what the atmosphere can do, is 19 back in 1953, and the sun sets at 6:27 just a few minutes from now. Okay, so going forward, this does improve, right? So tomorrow, 56, 58 for Sunday. back up near 60 on Monday, and then we're going to go for 70 on Tuesday. But this is a very normal pattern, right? You get a lot of these oscillations in the atmosphere in October, and we're basically getting warm, then we get cold, warm and cold, as the atmosphere kind of tries to correct itself. That's going to happen into Tuesday and Wednesday before we cool off again next week, Thursday into Friday. Looking outside now here in Rhinelander, the sun is setting. The clouds are still out there. And these clouds, there's still some instability in the atmosphere as we have a very, very, very cold temperatures right above our heads right now. Meanwhile, there's a little bit of moisture here at the surface that bubbles up through the afternoon, and you get cloud cover out there. But the back edge of that cloud cover is just across parts of western Minnesota and western Wisconsin now. That is moving our direction. So once that clear line passes through tonight, temperatures are going to drop like a rock into the 20s for lows tonight. Futurecast shows the story really well, so breaking up clouds right now. By tomorrow morning, lots of clear skies and brisk tomorrow morning as you're out walking the dog. And then kind of staying cool tomorrow, but warmer than today with highs back in the 50s. Our forecast then tonight, though, is mostly clear skies, so decreasing clouds, then clear skies by sunrise tomorrow morning. Low temperatures, I went with 21. A couple of you could easily find yourself in the upper teens for low temperatures for tonight. For tomorrow, a good recovery, right? Mostly cloudy or partly cloudy early, then warmer throughout the afternoon. Look for high temperatures back up near 56 and a north breeze around 5 to 10 throughout the afternoon. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwest Furniture and Mattress shows a dry stretch of weather still into the middle portions of next week. Slowly moderating temperatures back up to the 60s on Monday and Tuesday. Where another cold front comes through on Wednesday with a few rain showers, cooling us off for next week, Thursday into Friday. Jessica?
Thank you, Jeff. Concussions in athletes are extremely common. According to a study, 3.8 million concussions occur each year in the U.S. from sports-related injuries. It can be caused by a bump or blow to the head. Ashley Rotier, an athletic trainer for Aspirus Health, says while concussions are more common in hard contact sports like football or boxing, it can actually happen to anyone.
You can get this walking down the street, running into, a bird feeder hanging off of a branch that you didn't see, or hitting yourself with a door if you open it really fast and you end up hitting yourself in the head, which sounds crazy, but those are mechanisms that I've had before.
Effects are usually temporary, but can include headaches and problems with concentration, memory, balance, and coordination. Ryan Flynn is a certified athletic trainer with Aspirus Northland Orthopedics, and he says he hopes kids can live a healthy lifestyle when they grow up.
Sports is a very small portion of their life, and that our number one thing with them is make sure they live a fully functioning adult life and are healthy.
Some athletes may not report a concussion because they don't think a concussion's serious. The athletic trainers say that being honest is the number one thing you can do to help ensure safety. Sony has developed a device aimed at detecting Alzheimer's disease and other illnesses. The machine can measure loss of smell, which is an early benchmarker of Alzheimer's. Until now, that testing has been done in a well-ventilated place with providing with different smells, and usually they have to wait 30 minutes for the results to come out. Sony's device uses sealed cartridges, each containing a smell of varying concentrations, including those of roses and fermented soybeans. Users can get the results in about 5 minutes. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's Ultimate Sale is going on now. Shop in store and get ultimate mattress discounts. Get 55% off select Beauty Rest mattresses. Plus, buy any Tempur-Pedic mattress and get $300 in free furniture. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
I'm Tim Michaels, and I know a thing or two about construction. But sometimes, before you start building, you have to tear things down. That's why I'll dump Beaver's job-killing agenda. Totally demolish the woke liberals' anti-police agenda. And hammer Madison's special interest. I'm Tim Michaels. I'm a businessman, not a politician. Tony Evers and his liberal friends have made an absolute mess of Wisconsin. We've got a blueprint to rebuild. But first, we need to do a little demolition.
At Lakeside Living Design, we've always got something stylish in store for you. Whether you're looking for high-quality custom upholstery, decorative accessories and gifts, or are designing your space entirely from scratch, you'll have a friendly designer by your side, sharing their expertise, helping you bring your unique style to life. So stop by, explore our showroom, and together we'll make your space feel just like home.
Creative Kitchen and Bath Studio has designed beautiful and functional kitchens and baths in the Northwoods. When helping plan your dream kitchen or bath with in-home consultation available, they provide 3D drawings of your spaces to bring your visions to life. Owner and designer Sarah has over 25 years of experience, overseen 500 plus projects, and built strong relationships with local contractors providing superior installation. Whether it's a new home or a remodel, Creative Kitchen and Bath Studio in Eagle River looks forward to making your dream kitchen or bath a reality.
Carl Boletsky brutally shot and decapitated his wife with a large kitchen knife. Mark Ketterhagen shot and killed a young teenage girl and tossed her body in the Fox River.
These are just some of the convicted criminals freed early by Governor Tony Evers' parole commission, 884 in all, including 270 murderers and attempted murderers, 44 child rapists.
Terrence Shaw randomly raped and murdered a mother in her home.
Tony Evers promised voters, quote, "We will not release violent criminals." He lied.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's Ultimate Sale is going on now. Shop in store and get ultimate mattress discounts. Get 55% off select Beauty Rest mattresses. Plus, buy any Tempur-Pedic mattress and get $300 in free furniture. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
News Watch 12 is brought to you by Bone and Joint Walk-In Care.
Tonight, Republican Ron Johnson and Democrat Mandela Barnes will take the debate stage. We'll be airing it live right here on News Watch 12. We'll have one last look at the forecast after the break, but first, here's a look at this week's Big Old Fish.
News Watch 12's Big Old Fish is brought to you by Kurt's Island Sports Shop in Minocqua.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
What's the difference between someone that stares at the stars and somebody that casts a line into a lake? One's an astrophysicist and one's a bass pro physicist. Anyway, here's this week's Big Old Fish. Our first entry is from Cole Hogg of Sioux City, who caught this nice 18-inch smallmouth bass when fishing off the dock in Three Lakes chain. Next up is Bradley, who caught this smallmouth bass using a night crawler on Lake Tomahawk. This was the first smallie he's caught in over 25 years. Great job, Bradley. Finally, we have 3-year-old Jackson, who caught his first fish ever on Deerskin Lake while fishing with his mom, grandma, and papa on Labor Day weekend. Way to go, Jackson. Well, I think you know what I'm going to say next. That is one big old fish. Keep on reeling them in. All right, fishermen and women, make sure to keep those trophy pictures coming. All the information you need to be in the future episode of Big Old Fish and win a Norlin taxidermy fish mount is on our website, WJFW.com. And remember, anglers, fish on.
This Saturday through Tuesday only, you'll get our best discounts of the whole year. Everyone gets an extra 33% off our already low Slumberland prices. October 8th through 11th, shop our wide range of mattresses and furniture only at Slumberland Furniture.
As law enforcement, we've seen a lot.
Enough to know the attacks on Governor Evers are outright lies.
The truth? The governor actually increased police and first responder funding.
That's a fact. Even fact checkers said the attacks on Evers were false.
And Evers is working to invest in school programs, mental health treatment, and job training in high crime areas.
Those are the real facts.
That's how a governor leads, and that's the truth.
Governor Tony Evers, he's doing the right thing for Wisconsin.
You have dreams. To visit your grandkids. To start a small business. To spend time on the lake. The cost of a good healthcare plan should support those dreams, whatever they may be. They're your dreams. We're just here to help you live them. Aspirus Health Plan, a great plan for your best life.
Minwax has a challenge for you. Open a yellow can and keep on finishing. Keep on finishing this and this. Oh, and in here. That looks good. With Minwax, you can keep on finishing this and these.
What do you think?
Love it. And I love this too. And now at Menards, get 11% off all Minwax stains so you can create the custom looks you need to keep on finishing. Get it at Menards.
Punishing inflation, retirement savings evaporating, home values crashing, and Mandela Barnes is oblivious. Barnes just supported a massive tax increase on middle-class families and an army of IRS agents to go get every penny. Barnes also supported Biden's student loan forgiveness plan that cost every taxpayer $2,000. $2,000 less to survive on. Can you afford Mandela Barnes? Wisconsin Truth Bank is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This Saturday through Tuesday only, you'll get our best discounts of the whole year. Everyone gets an extra 33% off our already low Slumberland prices. October 8th through 11th, shop our wide range of mattresses and furniture only at Slumberland Furniture.
Eagle Floor Covering in Eagle River, locally owned and operated for over 2 decades. With over 40 years of combined quality sales and service experience, we can help you find the right floor for your lifestyle and budget.
All right, Jessica, we can hear the game going on next door to us right now. And if you're out there, you know it's a bit chilly. Temperatures are in the 30s across much of the area now, falling into the 20s for low temperatures tonight. That's going to be for a cool night ahead, but no snow flurries tonight. That was this morning, where a few of us saw a little bit of snow early this morning. All right, so lots of cloudy skies out there now, acting like a blanket in the atmosphere. But those clouds are about to break up across parts of western Wisconsin now. That's moving our direction. Once that clearing line goes by, temperatures are going to drop like a rock tonight. Then here's your 7-day forecast. It gets warmer, not a heat wave, but warmer. Back up near 70 on Tuesday afternoon.
Looking forward to that warm-up. A little bit of a warm-up.
A little bit.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah. That's all the time we have. We'll see you back here at 10.
Mr. Food Test Kitchen is brought to you by Golden Carrot Jewelers and Creative Kitchen and Bath Studio.
I know this might sound crazy, but I want you to close your eyes and imagine you're having dinner al fresco style in a small bistro in Tuscany. All you hear is the clanging of forks, the pouring of wine, and the faint sounds of music echoing through the streets. Then, your waiter brings you your dinner, and all you can smell is fresh herbs,